Voltage marking and application. This is a subtle point, but I think it's at a very, very important point, and it might have come across in your career. Circuit breakers can be marked, and I need to get a nice picture of a circuit breaker mark if I don't have that. Straight rated voltage. This is 240 volts, 10,000 amperes symmetrical. That means that this breaker is designed for line-to-line connection, okay? Oh, let me rephrase it. This breaker voltage from this one pole to the equipment grounding conductor is 240 volts, and from this one pole is 240 volts, and between the two poles it's going to be 240 volts, and it's rated 10,000 amps under that condition. You follow me? So straight rated breaker can be used on any circuit where line to neutral or line to line voltage does not exceed 240. Now, so a straight rated breaker. Let's go with a Y system. So we have line to neutral is 120. Okay, let's go with line 1. Line 1 is 120. Line 2 is 120. Line 3 is 120. So can I use a straight rated breaker to supply line to neutral loads? When the line to neutral loads are rated 120, right?
Yes.
Line to line. Line 1 to 2 is 208. 2 to 3 is 208. 1 to 3 is 208. So a straight rated breaker can be used for this application. And here's your voltage configuration showing you what we had there. Where's the 2? Oh, great. Now we're going to delta. Delta high leg. Delta high leg. This is going to be 120. 120 between those two. Between the two phases is 240. Between two phases 240. Between two phases 240. So I could put a straight rated breaker on a high leg delta system, and I could put it on 120 208, and I could put it on 120 240. We're good there. Now, let's get what is called a slash rated breaker. Slash rated breakers mean that line to neutral loads is 120 and maximum line to line loads is 240, and that's what they're going to give you your 10,000 amperes available fault. Let's go back over here. On a Y system, we know line to neutral is 120 and line to line is 208, so therefore a slash rated breaker would be fine in that application here. Now, if you're going to use a slash rated breaker over here, that line to neutral here is going to be 120, and then neutral to the high leg is going to be 208, and line to line is going to be 240. So we have no problem with the 240 taking care of the line to line. Our problem is this breaker is rated for a maximum 120 volts line to neutral, and a delta high leg system, line to neutral voltage is 208 volts. This, let me see if I can remember the scenario. Mike, I got a delta high leg system. Can I use the high leg to supply a 208 volt motor? What do you guys think? A 208 volt single phase motor, could I use the high leg to the neutral? Would it, let's go to the,
yes.
Will it work?
Sure. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it will work.
And I would have told
Absolutely.
you no at one time. So I learned, okay, no, Mike, it works fine. I'm like, oh, wait a minute now.
Might not be very good for the transformer, though.
I don't know. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
But I can't use what? I can't use a slash rated breaker. I would have to use a what?
Straight rated breaker.
Right.
A straight rated breaker. But here's the problem. Single pole and two pole breakers
Oh.
are generally rated 120 240. All three pole breakers are rated straight rated. There is no three pole breaker that is 120 240. They're all straight. So now you have two choices if you want to come off a delta high leg and you want to make a connection. You ready for the choices? Number one is you can't use a slash rated breaker, so that won't work. But you can use a straight rated 240 volt breaker, single phase, and they make them and they sell them, but they're never in stock for obvious reasons. They cost the exact same price as a three pole breaker, and all three pole breakers are straight rated.
Right.
So you buy a three pole straight rated breaker, but when you plug it into the bus, you're going to have two poles that are going to be phase to phase, and then you're going to have one pole that is phased to neutral. So you can take a 3-pole breaker and supply a phase-to-phase load, assuming the currents and the wire size and everything, and then the B phase, which is the high leg, which is identified in the panel board, orange or other effective means, can supply the one single 208 volt load. So it can be done. You just have to understand how the slash ratings work out. You guys got that? It's kind of technical, but there might be a time they're like, wait a minute now, I'd like to get that 208, but I can get the 240. So I can supply a 240 volt load, and I can use the high leg to supply the 208 volt load, and everything is fine.
This 208 motor, this is a single pole motor, single phase, single pole motor?
Yep.
It's hot to ground, hot to neutral.
Yep. No. It's a regular 240 volt, 208 volt motor.
2-pole.
Whatever you want to call it. It's a 240 volt motor. You run 2 wires there. You run a neutral, and then you run.
208.
I thought the question was 208 motor.
Yes, I just said that.
You said 240.
Okay, it's a 208 volt motor, and it has 2 wires sticking out of it.
Okay. But on a high leg, you got 240 between phases.
Yeah, but I'm running a hot and a neutral. I'm just going from the high leg to the neutral to that motor.
So the neutral is one of your current carrying conductors then?
Well, it's a neutral.
Yep.
It's
Like
one,
any
of the,
circuit.
one of the 2 wires coming out of the motor.
2 wires. You run an orange wire, and you run a white wire to your 208 volt single phase motor.
Okay, now
And you put a straight rated breaker.
then if you had a 208 system, then you
Well,
would,
wait a second. We're not in high leg then.
I understand that.
Okay, let's go here.
So, the same motor.
Yes.
Same motor on a 208 system, then you'd have 2 high.
I run a black and a red.
2 lines then.
Or black red, or
Okay.
red blue, or black blue.
Understood. Got it.
So it's just something to be aware how to make it safe and how to use the proper products, though.
But it's like against the grain of what you're used to thinking about. That's what Dave's struggling with. He's like, wait
I know.
a second
You watch
here.
his head. You watch his brain.
like, wait a second.
And it doesn't matter what I'm saying. And of course, he understands what I'm saying. It's like when I read 210.8b on GFCIs. I told you, I read it 20 times, and I know what it's saying is not what it's saying, because it's not possible that you're telling me that for other than dwelling units in those applications, I have to use GFCI for all 120, 208 systems up to 50 amp receptacles, and for 3-phase 120, 208 systems out. I'm like, so yes.